We're about to look at a moment that pretty much every content creator has nightmares about. A live stream that just fails. But this isn't about a bad internet connection or a tech glitch. No, this is about something much more real. It's about what it actually feels like to broadcast yourself out into the world and hope, really hope, that someone is listening. So we're actually going to start at the very end. That's the sound of a creator pulling the plug. But what gets a person to that point? Well, to figure that out, we have to rewind and go all the way back to the beginning. Every live stream kicks off with a plan, right? There's a sense of optimism, and this one was exactly like that. The creator, she runs a channel all about pregnancy, and she goes live with this really clear idea of connecting with her audience. And almost right away, she asks for something super important. Now, this isn't just about ego or trying to get a high score. She is essentially asking her viewers for help. Help to fight against this invisible force that's going to decide if her stream lives or dies. And this is that invisible force we're talking about, the algorithm. She's not just asking for a thumbs up to feel good, she's trying to wake up the machine. See, without those first few likes, the platform system just won't bother showing her stream to anyone else. That little tap of the like button is the signal it needs to know that somebody, anybody, is actually watching. Her goal was so simple and honest. She wanted to do a Q&A, to be there for her followers, to answer their questions. The whole thing was set up to be a really nice, interactive community moment. But that early optimism, it starts to crash right into the cold, hard reality of a very quiet digital room. And that's when the waiting game really begins. You can literally hear the doubt start to creep into her voice. She's kind of talking to herself here, trying to figure out why it's so quiet. And it's so relatable, right? We all do this. We try to rationalize it. Oh, maybe it's the weather, or maybe it's just a bad time. Anything to avoid the thought that maybe no one's coming. And here it is, the stark reality, a viewer count of 2. Just 2. Can you imagine setting up a stage, turning on all the lights, getting the microphone ready, and then you look out and see just 2 people in the audience? And of those 2 people, only one of them has hit that like button she asked for. So the algorithm? It's not getting the signal it needs. For all practical purposes, the stream is completely invisible. I mean, the gap between what she hoped for and what was actually happening could not be wider. The whole point was this big, bustling Q&A. The reality was total silence. The only real conversation going on is the one we can faintly hear with someone who's off camera, in the room with her. And that conversation, the one happening off screen, that's where this whole story shifts. It stops being about a technical problem and turns into this incredibly human moment. This is where the public performance ends and the private truth gets spoken out loud. It's a question pretty much every person who's ever created anything online has to face. What do you do when you're pouring all this energy out into the world and you get absolutely nothing back? Well, the answer is in this next unbelievably honest moment. This is it. This is the heart of the story. She's not talking to her audience anymore. She's turned away from the camera, and she's talking to someone named Lulu, who's right there with her. And the repetition, there's no one, Lulu, there's no one. It's just gut-wrenching. It's this moment of pure, unfiltered disappointment. And then you hear this incredibly fast, brutal, emotional roller coaster. For just a split second, there's this tiny spark of false hope, a misunderstanding maybe, that people have shown up. And then it's immediately crushed by the reality. That little glimmer of hope somehow makes the emptiness feel even worse. So the hope is gone. The truth has been said out loud. And at this point, there's really only one thing left to do. But it's how she decides to end the stream that's what's so telling. She turns back to the camera, back to those maybe 2 viewers who might still be there, and her whole tone just shifts. That raw, private disappointment is gone, and it's replaced by this calm, professional announcement. She's talking to her girls again. She's back in control. And that's really the big takeaway here. This doesn't end in some dramatic meltdown or an angry rant at the algorithm. It's just a moment of quiet resignation. It's the graceful exit of a creator who gets it, that sometimes you can do everything right and the audience just doesn't show up. And that really leaves us with this final thought to chew on. We always see the highlight reels, right? The viral videos, the huge streamers with thousands of viewers. But this short, failed stream, It gives us this rare peek behind the curtain at the other side, the invisible work, the silent streams, the empty digital rooms. And it really makes you wonder, how much of the internet is just built on people talking with hope into a microphone for an audience that just isn't there?